Aye. Woohoo! We're live. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Empowerment TV. We're back with the bang, like I said in the announcement. And we're going to be coming on every Friday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. UK time. It could be up to 10, it may be less. It depends on how the topic goes and how the discussions go. But I tend to keep them within 60 minutes or less. Today, people have been asking and talking about a big topic that I think we should really talk about, and that is relationships. So we've got the theme of the power of relationships today. I hope you guys are excited. I'm excited to share. So the power of relationship. Now, this is really important because, especially with this pandemic right now, we're on lockdown. And couples are forced to be together. You know, while you're going to work, coming home, doing your own various things, people could manage that kind of routine, but how are they managing it now? But more importantly, I want to talk about why do intimate relationships work for others and seem not to work for others, okay? And also the other question that I had was, thinking about it, how do you fall in love with the same person over and over again for the rest of your life? You know, how do you ignite that passion? How do you keep the fire going? Now, I just want to say up front, I am by no means an expert in the relationship area, but I have life experiences and I've attended a lot of events to do with relationship because obviously I've been in a few, made mistakes myself, and I've had to learn what works, what doesn't work, read lots of books around the topic. And these discussions are by no means being an end all. These discussions are just a free for all, open discussion. And I just feel like I owe it to myself to share some of my experiences and some of the things that you might be going through. You might get 1 or 2 points from it. You might get 1 or 3 nuggets, but you might get nothing from it. And you know what? That's okay. I'm not really attached to that. My job is to share my own personal experiences. It may be there to help somebody that are going through the problem right now or not. And that's okay by me. I'm not attached to that either. But also, I want to learn from you. So basically, why I put this on is also to learn from you and your experiences. You know, you're in an intimate relationship. How has that gone for you? What were the key benefits? What are the key things that kept it going? So I want this to be every week, every Friday, to be an honest, open discussion about the various topics that we're going to be talking about. So therefore, you know, we don't know it all. We're all learning, we're all sharing. And by sharing together, we can all learn together. And that's really what Empowerment TV is all about, you know. Empowerment TV is really designed where we have a slogan of we protect others, we heal others, and we inspire others to give more, be more, do more, and have more. And that's what it's all about. So how can we do that? How can we reach more people and really encourage them along those lines? That's why I've really set it up, and I'm excited to start this new TV series, new TV channels, NTV, Empowerment TV, to really help reach more people and support more people, and also learn, like I said, from your discussions and from your shares and your comments. Whether you're watching this live right now or you're going to be watching the replay of this, it will still be valid for you to comment on it, share your views. Some things you might agree with, some things you might not agree with, and that's okay. You know, like I said, it's to have an open, candid, honest discussion about these topics. But I'm excited. So the first topic is the power of intimate relationship. So I'm really waiting for some people to come. I hope I won't be on my own throughout this session. I hope some people will join me and be available on the live as well and be able to comment. But I'm just going to give maybe a couple of minutes or so to see if anybody else would like to join me, and then we'll start. Okay, I got about 12 tips for you, my take on it, lots of analogies, and lots of anecdotal stories as well. So hopefully it will help you guys to cultivate a better intimate relationship with your better half, with your better whole, not better half actually, your better whole. Alrighty, I'll see you back in a couple of minutes, and hopefully we can get cracking. Right. I'm just going to set up, technology is wonderful. I want to set up my laptop so also I can also see, I'm on my iPhone right now because it's got better camera quality. So I want to set up my laptop so I can also see people's questions and shares if they're sharing as well. It saves me putting my face on the screen trying to look at what people are writing over there. So let me just make sure that we are live here as well. Do, 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 do. Yeah, refresh to make sure that we're live here. Awesome. Yeah, there we are. I can see myself. We're live. Perfect. Okay. I'll be watching that. Great. Now I can see people's comments at the same time when they comment. All right. Like I said, I'll give a couple of minutes, see if anybody joins me, and I'm going to start on the topic. So I'll be right back. Now I can see people's comments at the same time when they comment. All right. Like I said, I'll give a couple of minutes, see if anybody joins me, and I'm going to start on the topic. Turn that off. Okay, I'm back. Right, couple of minutes there. Nature called. Sorry if I lost anybody. All right. Nobody yet. We're just continuing. All right, so Empowerment TV is back with a bang. And what we are discussing here is the power of intimate relationship. So right off the bat, what I want to do is give you guys an analogy of what relationship means to me. And I think this kind of sums it up as we go through the 12 pointers that I have for you. And those points are covering the do's and don'ts, you know, what we shouldn't do and what we should do instead. So first and foremost is the way I view and I see a relationship is if you think of a seesaw, you know, one of those seesaws that kids play on and they are balanced up and down on it like that. That's what I call a relationship. Because remember, a relationship is relating with the other person. You're relating with somebody who is different to you, okay? So it's really about being on that seesaw and doing this. This is what I call harmony in the relationship. You know, people might think that's a bit weird when it's up and down. Yes, because that's where you're both growing, you're both evolving, you're both learning. So this, you're edifying each other, you're evolving, you're growing, you're relating together. This is harmony in a relationship. Now, the problem occurs when it's like this. One person on top, one person at the bottom. This is not good, it's not balanced. Something's broken. When it's like that, something is broken, you know, my way or the highway. So this does not work in a relationship. Equally, this doesn't work in a relationship either. It's just convenient. It's just, you know, maybe you become friends or whatever. I don't know. You're in the friend zones. You're just comfortable with each other, but no spark. Nothing in the relationship. It's just this. So this is a problem. This is a problem. This is a problem. This constant seesawing. You push me up, I push you up, you go up and down. Sometimes I'm on top, sometimes you're on top. Sometimes I'm weak, sometimes you're strong. Sometimes you're strong, sometimes I'm weak. Sometimes I'm strong, you're weak. This in a relationship, man or woman, or man and man, or lesbian. It doesn't matter whether you're a homosexual couple or individual couples. If it's an intimate relationship, it needs to be doing this. Okay, that's with everybody. That's what I found anyway. That's my own personal analogy. You may disagree with it or you may like it. Comments below. I would love to hear your views. But that's really what makes an intimate relationship. And if you're on, you can say hello. Let me see if you're on and say hello and say hi. There's a couple of people watching. You can just comment below so I know that you're there. Because like I said, this is about having an open and honest discussion. So off the bat, that's what I really call a working relationship, is one that's constantly moving, because it's called relationship. So you're relating, all right? When that stops, the art of communication is key in any relationship. And when that stops or when that breaks down, something is wrong, okay? So I got a few pointers here. In no particular order, I'm just going to pick them and discuss them, and you can share your views, whether you agree with them or you don't, whether it makes sense, or share your own personal experiences like I'm doing right here. Like I said off the bat, I am no relationship expert, but I've been in so many relationships. I've been to so many relationship seminars. I've read some books, and I know I've made lots of mistakes in the past, and I try to correct them in my current relationship, and I still make mistakes in my current relationship. But it's about being aware and acknowledging that so that you can do something about it. That's really the key. It's not about being perfect, but no one is. Remember, I'm imperfect, my partner's imperfect, and we come together in a perfect relationship. That's what it is. And if we understand that, all of a sudden we are open-minded to allowing certain things that maybe normally we wouldn't allow, and we'd be kind of like caught up with and arguing with. Hey, hello there. Lena, lovely to see you. Thank you for joining through. You know, so I hope you're enjoying the discussion. Empowerment TV Live, we're back with the bang, and we're on the theme of the power of, and the first topic is the power of intimate relationship. So thank you for joining. So the first thing that I think is most important in any relationship that you get into, whether you're a girlfriend and boyfriend or husband and wife or fiance, it doesn't matter. If you're getting into a relationship, the first point I want to say is be yourself. One of the biggest problem is people try to be something other than themselves, you know? Excuse me, just having some vitamins there. They try to be somebody that they're not in the relationship. You know, in the beginning, I call it the puppy love syndrome. You put your best shoe forward, you know, you put your best gown on, and you know, you're trying to show the other person that, hey, I'm so cool, I'm so fly, I can't do no wrong, and you're doing everything they want by default. And sometimes you could lose yourself in that relationship, especially when you love too much and the other person's not reciprocating that love back to you, you know, or the other person's loving you too much. And then also, so we have to be careful. We have to keep that balance of that seesaw going, okay, up and down. Now, it's about being yourself. There's no point in trying to be somebody else or pretending to be somebody else. You'll later be found out. You see, it might take 6 months. It might take a year. It might take 2 years, but you'll be found out. And the way I say it is an old African adage that says, if I took smoke and I put smoke in a bottle, and I tied it really tight, and I kept that smoke in the middle of the room for 24 hours, that smoke will find its way out. So what it's really saying is, it might take time, but you can't really hide your behavior. your natural self. Remember, if you squeeze an orange juice, you get orange juice. If you squeeze a pear, you get some pear juice, you know. If you squeeze a mango, you get mango juice. If they squeeze you, they get you. Whatever it is that you've conditioning yourself to, whoever you are. They say the heart always speaks what the heart is full of. So whoever you are, your personality, your character, that will shine through. It may take time. You might try to deceive a few people along the way, but actually you're only deceiving yourself. But you'll find ultimately people will find you out and they'll know your true character. So in a relationship, it's best. People say, well, you don't want to show yourself too soon. You don't want to. No, I disagree completely. You've got to open up yourself and let yourself be vulnerable and be yourself. Because if somebody truly cares for you and somebody truly want to be with you, they will be with you regardless, period. So that's the first key point. Be yourself. I mean, let me share. If you agree with that, share your comments. If you don't, share your comment. Like I said, this is an open, candid reaction here. Elizabeth West, how are you, darling? Nice to see you. Okay, so I'm looking that way because I got my laptop on so I can see the comments and see people that are viewing while I'm using my iPhone as the main source because the camera quality is absolutely phenomenal. So I tried it on my laptop. It wasn't so good, so I'm using my phone for this Facebook Live. Second point is I label it change. Too often in a relationship, people think, both men and women think they can change the other person. Well, I'm here to tell you, you can't, okay? So just give up that ghost. You know, this trying to change the other person to go along with what we are, what we think is appropriate or inappropriate, is just completely wrong. One of the key lessons here is let the other person be, you know, let them be themselves. Remember, we said number one, be yourself. Well, the other thing is let the other person be themselves as well in that relationship. Hi there. Hey, Zach, hello, beautiful, all the way from down under. Nice to see you, gorgeous. Nice for you to join us. So we're talking about the power of intimate relationship. And I'm just going through some key points based on my own personal experiences that I've learned, and I would like an honest, open discussion with you guys as well, see what you think. So the first thing was about being yourself, and the second one is really about not trying to change the other person. Because we often think, oh, I'll mold him into what I want. He's perfect material for me. I'll change him. I'll mold her into what I want. She's just great. You know, we should stop that. We should really let the other person be themselves. Listen, we've all fallen trapped to all of this before in the past. I have definitely, but I've learned that that doesn't work long term. So allowing the other persons to be is really honest. It's really brilliant. I always tell my wife, you know, nobody put a gun to your head to marry me, and nobody put a gun to my head to marry me. It's a choice. So I choose to be in this relationship. You choose to be in the relationship. Actually, as a matter of fact, in that relationship, you're free. You're actually free. If you fall out of love with me, please do me a big favor. Tell me first. That's how it is now. It wasn't like that in the past, but now I realize that because you don't own the other person, and the other person doesn't own you. They choose to love you freely, and you choose to love them freely. Now, at some point in that relationship, they could fall out of love with you. That's a fact, okay? Because that was the other question I asked there is, how do you fall in love with the same person over and over again for the rest of your life? Well, in some cases, it doesn't happen, you know? I come to a point in here where the analogy is we don't know whether they're there for a season, a reason, or a lifetime, you know? We don't know. We're just in that relationship. Because we are growing and evolving, things change. And people seem to forget that. They go, oh, in the beginning, you are all this, you're all that, but now you got kids. Now you're different. Now you've evolved. You've changed. The person can't be the same person they were in the beginning of the relationship. It's just not going to happen. So we have to recognize that. We grow, we change, we fall out of love, we fall more in love, but we have to do certain things to keep that fire burning and ignited. Okay? So number one, be yourself. Number two, don't try to change the other person. If you're going to be yourself, allow the other person to be themselves as well. I think that's just fair. It's just a fair game, right? Right, the third point that I think is really crucial here and really, really important, is learn, grow, and evolve. Learn, grow, and evolve. What do I mean? You got to do things together, and you also got to do things separately. So we'll come to that in a minute. First of all is, if you're going to be in an intimate relationship with another human being, then make sure that you're both kind of like ambitious, both wanting to learn, both wanting to develop yourselves, both wanting to grow and learn. Because if anybody believes that the finished article in their relationship and they don't need anything, they won't do anything to them, they won't change themselves, then ultimately this seesaw will stop being this harmonious vibe of relating, going up and down. It will end up like this or like that. Because one person is growing and stretching, but you're doing nothing. The other person is growing and stretching and you're doing nothing, So it won't have this harmonious vibe about it of seesawing, pushing up and down, and having harmony and relating. It will break this, or both of you are not doing anything. Both of you can't be bothered to change each other and you just stay the same. This doesn't work in a relationship. So learning, growing, and evolving together is a beautiful thing. Now, that doesn't mean you have to do everything together. So obviously, somebody has their own kind of like ambition, their work, their career. You want to be able to support that. And the other person has their own careers, ambition. You want to be able to support that. Even if they have to take time out and come home and work at home, if they want to start a home business, support that. Because it's also very healthy for both partners to be doing something where they're contributing to the whole. It's really, really healthy to have that going, and, where there's a scenario where you have children and maybe the wife has to stay at home and look after the kids, great. But after that, she wants to find her own identity. She wants to find her own quality or what she would like to do. And this goes for men, because a lot of men now are, house husbands, Same thing. They have ambition. They will have something that they want to do as well. So always acknowledge each other in that and really support each other in your goals and what you want to do. That's really important. Otherwise, the other person could feel less than or feel that they're not contributing enough into the relationship. And I disagree, because I think husbands, we find it easy. Most of us, we go out to work and stuff. But actually, try staying at home with one child for a day, and you recognize how much work the wife goes through. So we have to also be able to swap these things so we learn and understand each other a lot more and a lot deeper. This is really important. All right. Okay, you guys are listening to it. Nobody's commenting yet. Please do share, do comment. So number 1, be yourself. Number 2, don't try to change the other person. Let them be themselves. Number 3, continue to learn, grow, and evolve together. That's really important. Number 4, a biggie, especially now in this pandemic where everybody's stuck together. Me time. Me time. You got to have your time. You got to have me time. You got to have what's your time for you. So you got to have a me time. It's really important that you either, whatever you like, whether you like to go for a spa session with the girls, or you like to go out and pamper yourself or treat yourself or get a massage, although that might be a bit difficult now with coronavirus, all those things are opening up again. But maybe just go out for a walk. It's your time for yourself. Maybe just take the dog out for a walk. You're out in nature. It's your time to breathe and relax. And we all need that, both of us, especially if you've got children. You definitely need to work that in. So the wife takes a break and off she goes. Like, my wife wants to go and do her nails and get her nails done or get her stuff done. She goes away and I take care of the kids, and vice versa. I want to go and play golf. She takes care of the kids. So having me time, having those time for each other is really healthy, people, because it allows you to breathe. Have your own friends. Go out, have your girly night, have your own mates, go out, have your, guy nights. These are all healthy stuff that keeps the relationship sparkling and keeps it ignited and keeps it healthy. So the other one is, following on from me time, is you also got to plan in and schedule in us time. What do I mean by that? Us time means, in the beginning, when you get into a relationship, it's all lovey-dovey. Like I said, you're doing everything by default. They can't say any wrong. You're on the phone all night, all day. Like, you can't stop thinking about them, blah, blah, blah. But soon, very quickly, you settle into a routine, right? Everybody does, Everything quietens and comes down. But how do you keep the spark going? You have to schedule in date nights. I even see people during this coronavirus, they're having date night and they're dressing up to have dinner downstairs where their kids are serving them. Wow, I thought that's amazing. That's creative. That's amazing. So you got to have date nights. You got to have time where it's about both of you, Even if you got children, without the kids, you got to schedule in and find a way, whether you get a nanny in or you get a support from the family, because it's so important to keep that passion ignited. You know, you got to have me time, and also you got to have us time, which is family time as well. So you got to do something together as a family on a regular basis, not just stuck at home. You want to go out to the zoo, you want to go out to the park, you want to have a picnic, you want to go out and do stuff together. If the kids are old enough, maybe all go out to a cinema, you know, but you want to have us time, or go out adventuring, go out camping, do something as a family. And all of this stuff just keeps the relationship even more healthy and keeps the fire burning, keeps it ignited. All right. Number 6, I said you have to do what I call togetherness. This is a really important topic right now. Togetherness. What do I mean by togetherness? And togetherness, I mean as a couple. You have to always show what I call a united front. Okay? A united front, meaning that when you're in an intimate relationship with somebody, when you both go out, you are each other's best friend. There is no point in you having a best friend outside and talking about your intimate relationship issues and problems with all of your girlfriends. And a guy talking about all his intimate problems with his boyfriends out there. It doesn't work. Now, those girlfriends, those boyfriends are not going to solve your problem, I promise you. They're just going to add more misery to it. I've been there, I've done that, I'm guilty of this in the past, done it. It doesn't work. Okay, in a relationship where you're moaning and complaining about the other person, and the other person moaning and complaining about you to their person, but together you come in, but you don't resolve the problem, you don't even do anything. So the best thing that I've learned is your partner, your intimate relationship, they're your best friend. They should know everything about you, your insecurities, your worries, your fears, your strengths, your weaknesses. They should know everything about you, and vice versa. Okay? Because they're your best friend. So if something's going on wrong, you're together in it. You're united. And you show a united front. And what I mean by that is sometimes when you go out as a couple, you're out and you're talking and something happens and people are discussing something, you never argue in front of your friends. Ever. You never start a discussion that you go, or you go against what they've said. Even if they said the wrong thing, you hold your lip and you have a conversation with them later on. When you get home, in private, in camera, when you're together, you say, by the way, honey, I was a little bit peeved. You said blah, 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 while we're at the dinner table with other friends. Oh, I didn't recognize. I'm so sorry. Easily dealt with. Don't start that conversation at that dinner table, which is what most people do. You say something and the other partner just disagrees with you. And then you disagree with them in front of other people. People already can tell, whoa, there's no harmony in that relationship. What's going on? So regardless of how much you want to say something and how much it grates you, hold your tongue. Hold your tongue. Do that in private. Share that with each other. Coming in. Hey, hi Mary. Nice of you to join us. You know, so these are really important tips, like I said, that I've really learned that makes a difference. Because, you know, it's respect for the other person. You know, I've been in past relationship where we've been out at dinner and I've said something, even though it was the wrong thing, and the other person just jumped in and contradicted me, and people just looked at it like, whoa. You know, especially even if you leave the house with an argument or something's going on, you want to leave that at home and deal with it later. But while you're out together, always show a united front with each other. That's absolutely important. It's crucial that you do that. And make your partner your best friend. Don't have any best friends outside of your partner. They're your best friend. Because if something goes wrong, only you two can resolve it. So talk about it. Be candid, be open, be honest about it. Number 7, this is a big one. Number 7 says, don't force things to happen. Oh my God. Let's pause for a minute. Don't force things to happen in your relationship, okay? Like I said, I've been guilty of this in the past. People have been guilty of it or of doing it. Because remember, in a relationship, if it's going to work out, it's going to work out. Remember, Deepak Chopra put it beautifully. You're in a relationship either for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. But we don't have a clue whether we're with somebody for a reason, whether we're with them for a season, or whether we're with them for a lifetime. We don't know, but we're in it. So therefore, we have to be accepting of that, and we don't want to force things. There's something called let things be, okay? Trying to force the issue in a relationship doesn't work, okay? Just accept the person totally, unconditionally, okay? And if it's going to be a reason, you would know. If it's going to be a season, you would know. If it's going to be a lifetime, you will know. You don't need to figure that out, okay? Universe, nature will figure that stuff out for you. Your job is just to be accepting of it. You know, it's sad, it's unfortunate, but What can you do? You can't force somebody to love you, and you can't force yourself to love somebody. Okay, it doesn't work. All right, so we have to be open to that, and I'm a great believer in being open to that, what the universe has for you, because nobody wants to be in a relationship, break up and leave. Nobody wants to be in a relationship like that. People will always think of a relationship that I'm gonna find the one and be with the one, and that will be it. But life's not like that. Life's not like that for all of us. So we have to appreciate that as well. So don't force issues. It's a big deal. Number 8. Oh, another one. This might sound like a cliche. Everybody talks about this. It's about love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. And we take it for granted, What does love yourself really mean? Well, if you as a person can take off your clothes in front of the mirror and be naked in front of the mirror and look at what you've created thus far, which is you, okay? Because you're the one that puts stuff into your mouth, and you are what you eat. We become what we eat. So if we look in the mirror and we're absolutely naked and we don't love everything that we've created, we can never change it. You see, because you've created this body and everything about you, you got to love everything about yourself. Like, you got to really love yourself. Because when you put on your own oxygen mask, then you can help other people put on theirs. But if you don't truly love every aspect of who you are, and you feel awkward about any part of you, then you're going to fail miserably trying to love somebody else or trying to love your children. Now, don't get me wrong. People, we are all selfless people. We do anything for our kids. We go all that. We do whatever. I get that. And people have done that. But actually, does that truly mean you love yourself? No, it doesn't. Okay? Now, a lot of people do more for others than they'll do for themselves. Case in point, your children, your partner, whatever. But why are you not taking care of you first? I get it. You think it's all nice and it's honorable, but I'm telling you, when you take care of yourself first, and your oxygen mask is on, and your emotional love tank is full, and you're overflowing, it's so much easier from that space to help others. Otherwise, what you grow is you grow tired, you grow weary, you grow exhausted, lethargic, and you start to resent the other person for not contributing or helping or supporting because you're doing everything by yourself. Okay? You got to love yourself, and you got to allow other people to help you. Okay? And be able to support you. And that all starts from loving yourself and not feeling guilty that you have to do it all, And I have to say, especially I'm talking to mothers here, where they feel guilty they have to do it all. Allow your partners to support you, allow your partners to help you, and if they're not willing to help, ask for their help. It's okay, because that's part of loving yourself, by the way. That's also part of loving yourself and really acknowledging you. Because when you get the rest you need, then your partner gets what they need. Because the challenge occurs now also, you're knackered, you're tired, you don't get your need, now the partner doesn't get what he needs from you. You know what I'm talking about, right? Doesn't get what he needs from you, but when there's a helping hand, when there's a support, you're also more freely to be giving of yourself to your partners because you're recuperated, you're rested, you love yourself, you take care of yourself. There's a case in point, I was doing a live show with some group of online people, and the key workers, they asked a question about, how do we take care of them? I said, well, you're a key worker. You're needed. You're a nurse. You're a nurse. But actually, if you don't get enough sleep, if you don't take care of yourself, how can you help the other patient next to you? It's just practically impossible. So loving yourself is taking care of yourself. Okay, that's what that really means. Loving yourself is taking care of it. Take care of yourself so that you can take care of others fully and be present fully for them. All right? All right, number 9, it says rituals and routines. Oh, a big one. Rituals and routines. Basically, in the beginning of a relationship, if it's just two of you, boyfriend and girlfriend, it's nice. You develop a routine. But the minute you have a child, that routine changes. The minute you have a second child, that routine changes. The minute you have a third child, that routine changes. So at each step of the stage, you're evolving, you're growing, and you have to change the routine, whether you like it or not. You see, you can't want things to be, like I said earlier, to be the same as it was in the beginning of the relationship, because it practically cannot be. It just cannot be, period. It can't be. So stop wishing for things to be the same, because they're not. They're going to change, they're going to evolve. Be accepting and open of that change, okay? So develop routines at every different level, because if you don't develop routine, you're going to find it difficult to have any breathing space or time to breathe for yourself, all right? So develop routines that will give you a little bit of pocket of windows to have that rest, to have that me time, especially when you have 1, 2, 3, 4 kids, you know? You have to put that in the equation. Number 10, ooh, a big one for me. This is something that could save you in your intimate relationship a lot of headache and a lot of hassle. What do I mean? Well, what I mean here is it's about clarifying meaning. Clarifying meaning and understanding. I find that in an intimate relationship, we enter into trivial arguments over nothing. Literally over nothing. So if you make a mind read of somebody's thinking, then you need to clarify that. Let me give you an example. So let's say at home, something could be down, I could be so busy, you know, you didn't do the washing up or something because you said you would, but you were busy and you were caught up in time and you were working, and your partner comes home, sees it there and says, the washing's not done yet. They get upset and they make a mind read that you couldn't be bothered, you didn't care, blah, 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 all the wrong mind reads. But actually, you should stop and pause and just say, hold on a minute. They said they would do it. So there must be a good reason why they haven't done it. And then clarify meaning and understanding. That eliminates all that argument, because all you do is to come in with that energy of your mind read and attack them, and they'll attack back trying to defend themselves, and then it becomes a full-blown argument when it was just a storm in a teacup. And I see this over and over again. I'm just using that example. There's so many examples around this that people fall into the trap of. So one of the things that I've said is when I make a negative mind read in my mind, I have to pause and say, hold on. Check for clarification and ask for understanding before you jump to conclusion. This will save you a lot of headache in your relationship. It really would. Because it's about communication with each other, right? And remember, this is the person you say you love and you care about. So why wouldn't you take the time out to just pause, stop, and ask the relevant questions? And then when they clarify, meaning now sometimes you could be right, but I'll tell you, 9 out of 10 times you're wrong. So most of the time we're absolutely wrong. We make different minds. We do this even not with our partner, with our friends, with our kids, with everybody around us. And the same principle applies. Ask for clarification, clarify meaning and understanding. Because once you understand that they didn't intend to do that, they had a different intention, all of a sudden it eliminates that feeling that you have, that was a negative feeling from you, okay? Could save you a lot of headache. Number 11, manage your emotional state. Manage your emotional state. We're on the topic of that. That also helps with clarifying meaning, right? Emotionally, we are human beings, and sometimes we just have what I call a reaction to things. You know, something happens either with the kids or our partners. We're frustrated, we're angry, we're sad, we're hurt, we feel fear, we're guilty, all of these emotions. Now, if you want to know more, I can't do more in this Facebook Live. If you want to know more about that, then I will encourage you to go on Amazon and grab a copy of my book called Time to Break Free. And on chapter 4, it's all about emotions and what you can do about emotions and how to manage your emotions. But just a quick tip here is, for everybody, I always say, when it comes to intimate relationship or any other thing, we have to be like children. You know your kids? If they're going to cry, they're going to cry. If they're going to be angry, they'll be angry. If they're going to be sad, they're going to be sad. But in the moment, the very next moment, they forgot about it. That's a more healthier approach to emotions. So what I want to encourage you as adults to start doing is start going against what we were taught as a kid. You know, as a kid growing up, they go, big boys don't cry. Stop crying. Why are you crying? You're a big boy. You're a strong boy. Strong boys don't cry. So very quickly, they knock out the feelings of emotion and expressing emotions out of us. Okay, and they even do that with girls as well. So it's not just men, but most men mainly. So they have to be tough and big boys. So now they grow up. That's why sometimes men find it difficult to express their emotions with their partners. I don't. I've eradicated that. I've worked through that. So you can work through this. Like I said, one of the key elements here is about expressing your emotions in the moment. So it's actually very healthy. So in the moment, if you're angry, be angry, but don't let it go past that moment, okay? Resolve it, be angry, express it, share it, done. If you're sad, cry in the moment, share your sadness. If you're afraid, share your fear with your partner. It's actually, people think if I share my weakness, then it's a sign of weakness. Actually, it's a sign of character, it's a sign of strength, and you're building character into yourself, mental toughness. You're being real, you're acknowledging what you're feeling. You know, when I often tell people, how are you feeling? Fine. How are you feeling? All right. That means nothing. That's BS. You know, how are you feeling? I'm feeling ecstatic. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling really sad today. We can do something with that. You know, that's real. All right. So be honest with yourself and how you're feeling. Really, really important. So that brings me down to my final one, number 12. Okay. And number 12 is about when you're in a relationship, especially in the beginning, do you really know your partner? And one of the best books that I read around this was called The 5 Love Languages. And I think it's a nice place to wrap up. The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. And you see, we're all emotional creatures. And even though there are 5 love languages, we like all 5, but 1 or 2 of them spells love to us. So I will encourage you, if you're on this Facebook Live or if you're listening to the recording, to go on Google and do the test, 5 love languages, and do it with your partner. Do it for yourself and get your partner to do it as well. Because even all these years you might have been with your partner. You may be right, you may be not. You may not even know what their love language is. Now, often when I do some kind of relationship counseling with other people, it's like, I often ask them, do you know what their love language is? And they look blank faces. I don't know. And they equally don't know what their love language is. You see, because when we were growing up as kids, I learned love seeing my father. I'm from Nigeria, I'm from Africa. My father had 5 wives, okay? My mother was the 4th wife, actually. So basically he had 4 wives and my mother was the 4th wife, sorry. So, and he had 16 children. So growing up, I only know love and relationship by his eyes, by their standard, by what they do. So I call that love, but that's not real love. That was their love according to them. That's what I understand to be love. So certain things that I took to be love, and now when I look at my intimate relationship, I project that onto them. I think, well, if I do this, what I saw my parents do, if I do this with them, that means I love them. But that's wrong. And the same thing for them. They grew up in a particular household, in a particular family, and they knew love to be something else. So therefore, when they're in the they go, oh, I know, this is what I know, so I'm going to do what I know. So therefore, I love the other person. Well, that's not the other person's love language. So in relationships, we're speaking different languages. A bit like I'm speaking English, you're speaking Spanish. I'm speaking Romanian, you're speaking Kenyan. You know, it doesn't work, you know. So what we've got to do when we're in a relationship early on is to understand the other person. Understand the other person. I tell people the first 6 months to a year, you're learning. You're learning in a relationship. You're learning. And what are you doing? You're learning and understanding the other person. You're learning what makes them tick. You're learning their love language. And you're asking them to teach you, and vice versa. If you really care about each other, you take these things seriously. And all of a sudden, once you've learned it and you understand what love means to them, then you do it for them. You do what, you know. I often hear the saying, do unto others as you would do unto yourself. I get that, but I totally disagree with that. Because sometimes another man's meat is another man's poison. What you do unto yourself, if you want to do it to other people, it might be rubbing them the wrong way. They don't like that. So actually, we should do unto others as they want us to do unto them. That's the correct phrase, in my opinion, anyway. So, but I get why people say that. It means treat people the way you like to be treated. That means don't harm anybody, don't say, I get it. But in actual sense, it doesn't work because we don't all like the same thing. We don't wear the same shoe size. So therefore, I always want to treat people how they want to be treated. Rub them the right way, the way they want to be rubbed, not the way I want to be rubbed. Okay? And it's the same thing. So 5 love languages is a really good exercise. If you haven't read the book, I highly recommend buy the book, read the book. So there are 5 things that we all like in a relationship. Number 1, we like physical touch. Number 2, we like words of affirmation. Number 3, we like quality time. Number 4, we like act of service. And number 5, we like to receive and buy gifts. Now, we like all 5 of these things. But like I said, 1 or 2, and when you do the test, 1 or 2 of them will be highest for you. That means if your partner is doing 1 of those 2 on a consistent basis for you, your emotional love tank is overflowing. It's full because you feel loved all the time. It's great. Now, even if you have the same love languages in different orders. Even if you have the same two things come up, they mean different things to your partner than they mean to you. So I'll give you an example. So one of my highest one is act of service and physical touch. My partner is quality time and physical touch. So physical touch is number one for me. Act of service is number two for me. Quality time is number one for my partner, and physical touch is number two for her. So notice it's number one for me, but it's number two for her. But actually, physical touch for me is a very different meaning to my partner. My partner's physical touch is be affectionate with me in public, hold my hands, give me a kiss, cuddle me. That makes her feel loved, And sometimes, even weirdly enough, she wouldn't mind me sharing this, but actually when we're in bed and I do my meditation, when I finish meditating early in the morning, I come back to bed, and she loved the fact that automatically, unconsciously, she'll just hold my hand, or she liked the fact that I hold her hand. That makes her feel loved. So that's physical touch for her. Whereas on the other hand, I like all those things, hugging, kissing, all that, great, but physical touch for me is different. It means making love with my partner. It means getting real intimate and making love. That's what it is for me. So even though we have the same, hers is number, mine is number one, it's very different feel for each other. So you have to understand what your partner's love languages are, and once you know it, you got to do it for them, okay? There's another thing here. Knowing and doing are poles apart. Now, sometimes you know what your partner wants, you know what their love language is, but you're reluctant to do it for them. I mean, come on, do you really care about them then? I've had this happen in previous relationships where we knew each other, but we didn't do it. So if you don't do it, then you don't know, right? So you only know what you do. You can only perfect what you practice. And these are the things that will keep your relationship on an even keel, that will keep it going for long. And this is what I've learned. Now, I often speak to a lot of people that have been in 30-year relationship, 40-year relationship, because I'm fascinated. And I always ask the question, what's the number one thing that's kept you going? I've had various answers, but I just want to give you some of the best tips that I've had. One is, as a couple together, you got to have your own, what I call creed, code of conduct, if you like, or policies. You go to a company, they give you the company policies, the do's and don'ts, So you should have that in your relationship as well. So make a list of things that you guys are going to commit to doing for each other regularly, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, etc., and commit to doing it for each other, and both sign it. So we have our daily rituals, and we write it. It's about 8 of them because we like the number 8. I got infinity here, number 8. So we like the number 8. It's a very significant number for us. So we will have 8 things, and we both sign it, and we commit to that, and we do it daily. I can share one of them. So one of them is, and I learned this from going to a relationship seminar with one of my friends, good friend, Avnish Goyal and Anita Goyal. And it's like, when you meet your partner and you get home, you got to go and look for them. So if I go out, when I come home, it's my job to go and find my partner before I do anything else, and go and give her a hug and give her a kiss. And it's a 20 minutes, it's a 20-second hug. It's not just a peck and this and then over. No, it's intimate. And that makes the other person feel really special. So if she goes out, she comes home, she has to come and look for me. It's her job to come and look for me wherever I am, in the office, whatever, interrupt me, stop me, give me a hug, give me a kiss. And that's a really nice thing to do. It's a commitment thing. And there's many other things. So you could choose your own things, but have a list of things that you do to keep that fire burning, to keep it going. We introduce to ourselves that we get up in the morning and we have naked hugs. You hug for 20 seconds, heart to heart, connect with each other. Naked hugs. It's really powerful because, again, it starts your day off great. You feel great, you feel invisible, you feel amazing, and you want to do the same for your partner as well. So it's really important that you write some things down that you're going to commit to. The second advice that I think is one of the best that I've ever heard is never, ever, ever go to bed on an argument. I'll say that again. Never, ever, ever go to bed on an argument. So no matter who's right, who's wrong, it doesn't matter. Here's a phrase, by the way. When you are in a relationship with another person, never, ever make what they did wrong or you did wrong the issue. Always look at it as you and I against this problem. Both of us against this problem, whatever that problem is. It's not me against you and this problem, or you and me against you and that problem. No, that's playing the blame game. We're looking for solution. We can either choose to point fingers at who caused the problem, or we can point at the solution of the problem. So I'd rather focus on the solution. So work together. So the problem is both of your enemies. you know? So you both have to look at the problem as, we got to solve this together. How do we resolve this? It's really healthy. So never ever go to bed without, that's one of the best advice ever. So even when we have an argument where, you know, sometimes in the past we'll be like, you're in the doghouse for a week, I'm going to the spare room, I'm going to that room, I'm going to my friends to stay, you know, no, don't do that. That never resolves anything, you know? So we've made a commitment. No matter if we're arguing, whatever, we stay in the same room, we stay in the same bed, and before we put our heads to bed and go to bed, we resolve it. You know, we swallow our ego, we swallow our pride. Either way, we take out the stick out of our asses and we just say, you know, I'm sorry. It's easy. I'm sorry. If it's your fault, be honest, be candid. I'm sorry. It's my fault, my bad. I apologize for earlier. I shouldn't have said that way. I shouldn't have spoken to you that way. I shouldn't have raised my voice. Whatever the issue may be, you know, it's so, so healthy, you know, and it costs you nothing to do that. Nothing apart from your pride and your ego. You know, you can either be right and be in a crazy relationship, or give it up and let it go and have peace in your home. So I choose peace anyway. Valid tip. And the third one that I really love, the third one that I'll give you is, you know, and I got this from Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. They say you have to treat your relationship like a contract. Like if you go to work, they give you a contract at work, right? And there are things you have to do, things that you can't do, and things that you promise to do and not to do. So same thing. It's like you're in a contract with the other person. Like I said, remember this, seesaw, up and down. In the beginning I said, nobody put a gun to my head, nobody put a gun to her head. I'm in it because I choose to be in it, she chooses to be in it. At some point, we can evolve and fall out of love. We can grow out of love. It happens all the time. And all I say is, please, please, come to me, let me know first, and I'm happy to let you go. I'm not attached to it anymore. I used to be in the past, but now I've learned that you just got to let that stuff go. So I'm happy to let you go, and she's happy to let me go, and she knows that. And we've all talked about it. You know, if ever I moved on, she has to move on. She has to live her life. If she moves, I have to move. I have to live my life. You know, because think about this. Before you ever met that person, you lived your life, and before they ever met you, they lived their life. So everybody's going to be okay, right? We don't own anyone. And this issue that people get, you're my girlfriend, you're my boyfriend, you're my wife, you're my husband. Yeah? This expectation of, you got to do that, you got to do this because you're my, no, let it go. You have to let that go. Because remember, the freedom in the relationship is what keeps the relationship blossoming. Okay? That freedom. And I'm not saying it's not a freedom of, you know, you go and sleep with somebody else or go and have swing there. Or no, not that. I'm talking about the free will, the freedom of the other person being themselves, you being allowed to be yourself in that relationship, growing and evolving together, excited, getting together, having your me time, doing your me time. All of that is so healthy. It builds desire. Doing their job, you know, it builds that in the relationship. And because people know that they're free and they're not tied down in the relationship, they stay there willingly. Okay, that's the key. Whereas when you put restrictions and you put ultimatums and you put rules and all that in place, you know, when you put rules and expectations, it's brittle. At some point, it's going to break. It's going to break. I promise you, it's going to break. It just wouldn't work out, you know. And like I said, we don't know why relationships don't work out and why it works out for some. As Deepak Chopra says, you are either in a relationship for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And at some point, as much as we want to crack our head over that, we just have to accept that and move on. And my final tip for all of you before I sign off, I think this has been a great session. Thank you guys for joining in and being a part of it. Although I'm not seeing much discussion, you know, on it. Hopefully, maybe the next week's topic, you guys will be more open to discuss it. The final tip is this. I always say something. I use what I call the 3 A's. Okay, the first A is, whatever happens in your relationship, and this is, I use it in my entire life, business, everything else, in my personal relationship as well. Whatever happens, I have to acknowledge what happened without my emotions. So I have to look at the facts, just acknowledge what's happened, looking at the facts without my anger, fear, without any of my emotions involved, okay? Then secondly, I have to ask myself, what can I appreciate from this thing, this situation, these circumstances, this challenge, whatever it may be? What can I appreciate? And I usually look for things to appreciate within it, because there is, if you look for it. And then finally, because it's happened and I can't change it, no matter how much I want to, I can't reverse it, I can't take it back, it's already done, it's already happened, then finally I just accept it. And what I find is in the acceptance of it, I let go of the pain, I let go of the anger, I let go of all the issues around it, because now I'm fully accepting of it and I move on. And that's what life is really about, really, is really accepting and embracing the other person unconditionally, because that's what life's about. We're intelligent people, but we think we can control circumstances and situations, but we can't. We don't even know what's going to happen 2 seconds from now. Nobody knows. So therefore, some people were alive yesterday and they're gone tomorrow. What happened? We have no clue. And we are no different to them, by the way. We don't have any other privilege than they do. So, well, whilst we are alive and whilst we've got breath in our lungs, we need to really be grateful for that and really appreciate what we have with our partners, because the power of an intimate relationship is this. My grandmother put it beautifully. You know when you are in a good relationship, because when you look at your life, things are on the up. Promotion, excelling in your business, excelling in your work, graduation, things are happening for you on a positive note, and you can see both of you growing and realizing that. But if you're in a negative relationship, it's pretty simple. If it's going nowhere, the warning signs are there. You might choose to ignore it, but you can see a spiral downwards. Everything's an effort. Work is a challenge. This is a challenge. That is a challenge. Things aren't going right for you. My grandmother was a wise woman. It's not rocket science. So when you are when you choose and you're with the right person and you choose the right partner to be with, what happens is the power of that union, it's not two. It's not the power of two. It's multiplied 1,000-fold. You get through situations easily. You get through challenges easily. It's almost like the universe is conspiring to support both of you along the way as you go. That's the true power of having the right person alongside you. Having the wrong person alongside you, maybe those words are wrong. Right and wrong is not a right choice of words, because in life, I don't believe there's bad or good. There's only experiences. Let's just call it that, experiences. So sometimes you have a pleasant experience, sometimes you have an unpleasant experience. That's a better choice of word. So you can see whether you are going on the right path, because everything is pleasant in your relationship. And you can see, now, even when things aren't pleasant in the relationship, you're able to have honest, candid discussion and discuss it and work things together. That's when you know you're onto a winner. You see, when you know that some little storm in a teacup and ends up into like World War II or something, then you know you're not on the right track. So I hope these tips help. So as a quick recap, number 1, be yourself. Number 2, don't try to change the other person. Allow them to be themselves. Number 3, learn, grow, and evolve together. Number 4, have me time. It's really important. Number 5, plan us time. So have quality time with your partner, date night, but also family time as well. And 6, togetherness. What I mean by that is both of you have to show a united front. So never argue in front of the kids, never argue in front of friends. Even if you disagree with what your partner is saying, talk together in the bedroom later on in the evening and have that conversation together. It's a healthy way of doing it. Always be united together. Number 7, don't force things to happen. Like we said, we don't know whether we're together for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. We just have to embrace that. 8, love yourself, because loving yourself is caring about yourself. Number 9, rituals and routines. You have to develop them. There is no success without routines. So you have to have rituals and routines that you have, and it changes. When you're a couple together, it changes. When you have a child, it changes. When you have a 2-child, it changes. 3-child, it changes. When you move, it changes. So be willing to constantly evolve and change with the times. Don't be stuck in one way in your comfort zone, and don't be willing to change, because you'll find it hard. Okay? So be willing to change your routines and your rituals as things change in your life. Number 10, clarify meaning and understanding. Really powerful. This will solve a lot of issues in your relationship. Number 11, learn to manage your emotions by expressing your emotions in the given moment when they're happening. Because that's the only time you can express it and air it. Don't keep it. Don't hold it. Don't say, I won't say anything now. There is never a good time to say something. Never a good time and never a bad time. Just say it. Let the chip fall where they may and discuss it and deal with it. That's the only way. Don't hide from it. Don't run away from it. Just drop it and Deal with it. Drop the bomb and deal with it. And number 12, 5 love languages. Go online, find out. Gary Chapman, buy the book if you can. Read the book, it's phenomenal. But actually go online, do the test with you and your partner. Find out what your top 2 is. And once you know what it is, do it for your partner. And I think if you do that, and along with the other thing that I've shared here, I think it will put you in good stead. That's what I've learned. That's my experience so far. I'm not perfect. Like I said, I still make mistakes, but I thought I owe it to people to share my experience and my knowledge on this platform. And somebody, because of the pandemic now, people are stuck at home with their partners. They wanted me to talk about the power of intimate relationship. Now, next week, you can put down here what you like me to talk about. We're going along the theme of the power of. So whatever you think of, it could be the power of forgiveness, it could be the power of change or the power of success. I don't care. It's the power of something. And we can join and have an honest discussion about it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I would love to see your comments below and your likes and your shares. Feel free to share this if you know that somebody could benefit from it. And remember, my analogy of a perfect relationship is when you are seesawing on a seesaw, up and down. This is harmony. Up and down, up and down. This is harmony. You have to be, it's called relationship for a reason, so you have to be relating. All right, there you have it. I will see you next week on Empowerment TV for another beautiful topic. Till then, guys, remember, stay safe, stay fit, stay healthy, and God bless.